You may be wrong, but I know you may be right. Hey, what's up everybody? PrimeStorm22 here, bring you a sort of video. I think this might take place on my Collaboration Friday video. Who knows? If I get time to edit, then I'll go ahead and work on that. But I want to talk about the news that came out recently, like a couple hours ago from when I'm recording this right now, from IDW. And how they're merging all their comics, not all, but a good bit of their comics into one Hasbro-verse type thing. With Transformers, G.I. Joe, Micronauts, ROM, Action Man, M.A.S.K. Let's be clear here, I've only heard of Transformers, G.I. Joe, and only recently ROM. I have not heard of Micronauts or M.A.S.K. or what is an Action Man. But yeah, so I wanted to address this new shared universe that's coming up into the comics. First, I'd like to do this. This is G.I. Joe Hearts and Minds. Once upon a time, I ordered, I think it was Last Stand of the Wreckers from IDW for Transformers. Right there. And they accidentally sent me this instead. So I had to reorder it. But got to keep this G.I. Joe IDW comic. I'm like, okay, never read it. Had it for years, don't care about it. I'm not a G.I. Joe person. It usually is down here with like my Moon Knight comics and like my miscellaneous comics. I don't have enough room on the shelf. But as this has now been put into the same universe as IDW, I keep looking over there. I should be looking over here. I'm going to ceremoniously put it up in place on the shelf. This came out in 2010, so I'm going to put it around the 2010 books. Now I have a G.I. Joe book smack dab right in the middle of my Transformers stuff. But, yeah, so I'm going to be researching more on these things like G.I. Joe. How is this going to affect Transformers lore? And, the fact of the matter is I've always been planning on doing some G.I. Joe stuff as soon as I read and watch some G.I. Joe stuff. Because the G.I. Joe stuff are in a sort of shared universe with Transformers. The original 80s cartoon is in the same universe as the Transformers 80s cartoon. A lot of cartoons are in the same universe as the Transformers 80s cartoon. The Marvel comics are in the same universe as the Transformers Marvel comics. And I think in the G.I. Joe live-action movies, they reference Transformers or something like it once. I have to actually watch the movies to make sure, but I think they're in the same universe. And speaking of that, they're probably going to make a shared universe out of the movies with Michael Bay's Transformers. So, yeah. The rumors that Transformers The Last Knight could refer to ROM, I guess it's getting a little bit more of a confirmation. A little closer to plausibility. I, for one, am not real excited about this. Like, part of the reason I like Transformers is because it isn't connected to anything else. Like, it's a big universe, but it all stands on its own. And, it doesn't really need that much other franchises to keep it alive, like DC, where you have all the Justice League members and all the Suicide Squad members and Justice League Dark and Team 7. So you don't have to understand what's going on in other places to understand what's going on. There's already a whole lot of IDW Transformer comics out. There's a whole lot of G.I. Joe comics out. And now I'm going to have to start binge reading the G.I. Joe comics. So, yeah. Back in the 80s, Marvel thought it was a good idea to put Transformers into their universe, but then they realized it's just too much. And so they decided, nah, never mind. The Spider-Man you saw back in Transformers number 3, that was an alternate universe Spider-Man. That wasn't Earth 616 Spider-Man. See, as far as Transformers lore is concerned, there are always going to be videos of G.I. Joe and Gem and the holograms, but now we get to expand it to include ROM and Micronauts and all that, because that's now part of this. it's almost like Transformers as it once existed no longer exists anymore. Now it's part of this Hasbro-verse. Sort of like, I guess, when all the superheroes linked up when they thought the Justice Society was a good idea. Which, yeah, I like the shared universes in Marvel and DC, but I don't think everything needs to be shoved into a shared universe. Things get a little cramped, especially when you have Action Man and ROM and Transformers. On the bright side, it gives a bigger world, and I like world building. But yeah, I'm going to be reading all the titles. I'm going to binge read all the G.I. Joe comics, and then I'm going to catch up with ROM and Action Man and all that stuff, so I can be able to understand what's happening in my comics when Revolution comes. Vive la Revolution! I don't know why it came over me. Yeah. If there's anything you guys want to see in Transformers lore, whether it's in these expanded universe titles or anywhere in Transformers, really, go ahead and tell me. I'm thinking the next episode will be... Okay, at some point, there are points where the series will turn into like a sort of complete story type thing, like if you subscribe to the Comic Historian, Benny the Comic Historian, then yeah, it's going to be sort of like that, only a lot less, I guess, cinematic, because his is like a story. I might do IDW, like almost exactly how he does his, because IDW is still ongoing, and we don't know what's going to turn out to be a lie and what's going to turn out to be true, so it's whatever. So may as well do it like how it's presented. But yeah, but I think my next thing is going to be Beast Wars Reborn. But then I kind of want to introduce Beast Wars for those of you who haven't seen Beast Wars. I have so many paths to go down right now in the lore series, and I don't know which path to go down. So yeah, thank you guys so much for listening to me ramble here, I guess. Subscribe if you want to, follow me on social media for updates, and yeah, have a good day, ladies and gentlemen.
It's G.I. Joe against Cobra and Destro, fighting to save the day. He never gives up, he's always there, fighting for freedom over land and air. G.I. Joe! American hero! G.I. Joe is there!